And welcome back. We are continuing our conversation with State Representative Mark White as an effort to block Tennessee's new congressional map from taking effect is shot down by judges in Middle Tennessee. Representative White was one of only 2 Republican lawmakers who voted against redistricting during the legislature's special session. He joins us once again with reaction to the court's decision. Mark? Again, glad to have you back here. You broke ranks, again, opposing redistricting efforts in Memphis and the 9th Congressional District. Why?
Well, I'm not saying whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, but what it was, I'm about fixing Memphis right now. And so my personality, my goal is to make sure that all sides, no matter what side you're on, is listening. I want to fix education. I want to bring back prosperity to Memphis. I'm about fixing Memphis. And at that particular time when that came up very, very fast, where so many people had not had the chance to digest it, good or bad, I'm not going to get into that, but I want to fix Memphis. And I think if I would have, the way it went, if I would have been a yes vote on that, a lot of people that I'm trying to work with in this community to say, listen, I hear what you're saying, I understand our difficulties, don't turn me off, because I do hear what you're saying.
Because, you know, there had been that debate about whether voices were going to be diluted, you know, once these maps are redrawn. What did you heard?
As far as in voices being diluted, well, it depends on how people perceive you. I want to be able to walk into a meeting and they'll say, well, let's listen to that person because he is always listening to us. And so what that goes, and so I've been in the legislature now for 17 years, hard to believe, education chair for 12. And I really want to make a difference and a change. I love this city and we got so much going for us. And like I say, the young people have to have an opportunity in school to be able to come out of school and get the jobs that our business community needs. So yeah, that was an issue I chose to stay out of. And I talked to my caucus before the vote was taken and told them where I was, and they understood.
Let's talk about listening, and I know you're going to be on a listening tour that actually starts here in Memphis. When it comes to education, which I know is one of many of your passions, where do we stand with some of the other issues? Especially we hear so much about the third grade retention law and helping our third graders become more proficient readers. Yeah,
these are things we put in place over the years, the third grade retention back in January 2021. Now we just got to make sure that they are enforced. We got to make sure now, what we're doing now is going back and making sure that they're reading by first and second grade, kindergarten, first and second. Let's not wait to third grade. That's an 8-year-old. Nobody wants to hold back an 8-year-old. But we had to put a line in the sand and say we're going to address this. What I'm going to be doing this summer is going across the state, east, middle, and west. We got a new administration coming in next year, a new governor, and so I want to be able to build a framework of what have we been doing right and what do we need to improve upon statewide so that we can become #1 in education.
One last thing I do want to ask you about, what's the status of the Memphis Safe Task Force? I know you were in Washington, D.C. recently. What are you hearing even from maybe the FBI director about National Guard and the Memphis Safe Task Force being here?
Right. I was up in D.C. about a week ago for a number of days. Cash Patel, listened to him speak, amongst others. I think over 10,000 people have been arrested since last fall. They feel very strong about what's happening, and that will continue to happen to make our city continually safer. And so that's staying in place. I think the National Guard is here until the governor and the president decide not to, but we're going to move forward with that. We've made, I think there's been 10,000 arrests. I forgot how many thousands of young people, children, have been found that were off the radar, and so a lot of good is out of that. As long as Memphians start to feel safer, and they are safer, then it's a good thing.
Representative Mark White, always glad to have you back.
Thank you.
We will do it again.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.